Hello, and welcome back to Tennessee Railfanning Productions. In this video, we're going to be railfanning the A-Line with a good buddy of mine, Mr. Nathan White. He came to visit me from North Carolina, and he was up for the weekend, so we decided to go and see what we could see. For the first shot, we go up to Mossheim, Tennessee at CP Jones to see NS 11Z rounding the curve coming into CP Jones. We ended up staying at CP Jones for NS 15T with the New York Central Heritage Unit leading the charge, going towards Knoxville, Tennessee, and then eventually on to Irondale, Alabama. We would eventually catch back up with the NS-15T at CP Kite near Bulls Gap, Tennessee. With a couple of other rail fans present, we catch the train as it rounds the S-curve into CP Kite. For our last shot of evening 1, we see an ST-51 coming out of Bulls Gap Yard. This train would have an old NS-9 leading number 9934. These engine styles have very low numbered days left in active service due to the rebuild program, where these things will be turned into AC-44 C6Ms, who mostly dominate the Norfolk Southern trains and rails today. The next morning, we would awaken to the sight of an ST-52 coming up the NS Appalachia District. So we got out of the house and went down to Burham, Tennessee to see this train coming under this old bridge and rounding this old curve past the silos here in Burham. We would then catch back up with the train at the Otis defect detector in Otis, Tennessee, coming through the old rock cut that they had to blast to get the railroad through Otis. For our next shot, we would see an ST-52 coming back up the Appy towards Kingsport with the same power an ST-51 had the day before. He's coming up the old Appalachia District through Persia, Tennessee, going across the ponds at the TVA power plant just out of our camera's view. Later that afternoon, we would see an S11Z. This train would have a special surprise for us, a UP C44CM, an old AC6000. make our way back to Bulls Gap to see an S289 coming through Bulls Gap with two AC44 C6Ms on the point. For our next shot, we would see an ST51 coming out of Bulls Gap Yard, coming off the Y onto the main line at CP Justice. Throw one at Fred. For our last shot of the day, we heard NS15T coming through the valley right before Bulls Gap, Tennessee, with a great horn on it, which was a mixed cast horn. We decided to go after it. We packed up all of our stuff and ran to the car as soon as we heard it. We missed it at Bulls Gap and ended up pacing it through Whitesburg, Tennessee, catching it at Russellville, Tennessee, which you see in this picture, and then eventually catching it in Morristown, Tennessee. But I'm going to show you some of the pace footage from Whitesburg, Tennessee and Russellville, Tennessee first. We would eventually end up in Morristown, Tennessee. We were catching S15T blowing through the downtown crossings with this amazing mixed cast horn. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see y'all on the next video.